Hello and welcome everyone to the Skinny Jean Gardener Show. It is Thursday. Welcome. And tonight we've got a very special show, something we're going to continue throughout lockdown. Before I really get into it, I always do this now. This seems to be like a New Year's resolution. I must say thank you to everyone that has shared the stream. I must say thank you to last night to Mark Simmons, Stuart, Ian, Richard, all shared the stream over on Facebook. It helps so much to get the good ship Skinny Jean Gardener Skinny Jean Gardener Show out to the world. Tonight we have a gardening homeschool edition. As we all know, it's changed a little bit this week, isn't it? Things have changed just a little bit. I mean, not a lot, but I think we'll agree. If you've got kids, if you're at home, I mean, even if you've not got kids, we know that lockdown number 3 is with us. I'll be the only person to sing lockdown number 3 is with us to you. So much coming up on tonight's stream. I'm going to give you guys, a gardening make to do at home. Something to get you out and about over the weekend. And also something really educational, really great for kids over the next week. I'm trying to do these shows. I'll also be taking your questions. If you've got any questions, 07423 574 520 is what I was going to say. Thanks. That is the phone number. Or you can click the link in the description below. Everyone. So loads of gardener mates coming up, loads of ideas, answering your questions, talking about school gardening tonight. So I hope you're ready. Hope you're ready for some questions, and I hope you're ready for this introduction. It's gardening homeschool with the Skinny Jean Gardener. It's actually getting worse. The introduction actually getting worse. So much. Look. Absolute terrific start. Absolute terrific start, everyone. For some reason, I just knocked myself off. I'm not sure if we are streaming tonight on... Let me just whack that in the comments again. I'm not sure if we're streaming tonight on Twitter and Twitch. Are we? If you're watching on Twitter and Twitch, say hello. Let me know you're about. You're spared no expense. Shall I play it again just for anyone that missed it? It's quite a lot of expense going into this. It's gardening homeschool with the Skinny Jean Gardener. Sure, there we go. Yeah, so it's coming up. We'll answer your questions. Put your questions in the comments if you don't want to call in. That's absolutely fine. I've got some other questions coming up tonight. Or you can be zapped into the conversation. Hello, Beddoes. Hello, Suggs. Hello, Mr. Jackson. Welcome to the show. Like I say, I've got a great garden mate coming up for you tonight. Something to get you at and about over the weekend, and something to get you learning as well. Plus, I'll take your questions. Right, I've said that about 1,000 times tonight. Should we get on with it? Cheers, Suggs. Great. Do you know what? This is the first time, everyone. The first time I've wore this jacket since the school tour. Can you believe that? Back in March. I mean, I'm not wearing this just to look cool. I agree with you. I do look cool. But for war, it's so cold, isn't it? I don't know how cold you're feeling. I'm feeling freezing. It's really cold. So yeah. I mean, since then, things have changed massively, haven't they? I mean, I'm going to whack this in the comments as well, because I've got a link to the school tour where, I mean, it was such an amazing thing. I don't feel like we're going to be able to do it for such a long time now. We've got 10,000. I talk about it all the time on this show. We've got 10,000 children gardening in 1 week. Absolutely incredible. And we got to meet 5,000 of them. We got 5,000 kids online gardening at the same time, and it made me see such a amazing and the differences around the country of school gardening, how kids garden. I get to go to shows, get to speak to them, and speak to children about how they garden. But actually, at schools, I didn't go to loads and loads around the country. So last March, when we did the tour, go and check it out after tonight's show. It was just an eye opener. An absolute eye-opener to what's going on in school education. And obviously, we'll talk later on a little about the school plan, because I have briefly, we've not stopped talking about it, have we, team? It's just, we really need to get gardening into schools. And this year was meant to be the year. And it is still going to be in September. It's still going to happen. But obviously, with everything that's going on, I know a lot of teachers were speaking to me before Christmas, thinking that this was going to be the start of January, where we're going to get the kids outside and we'll get gardening. Hopefully, us, the parents, the grandparents, are going to be in charge of that. Although, are we allowed to see grandparents at the moment? Probably not. Carers. That's how we go with it. So tonight, I'm going to take your gardening questions. Phone lines are open. You can click the link to come into the stream. I'm going to take this question first. This is from Alison. What can families do to help the birds and other wildlife out in their gardens in this cold snap? And it is so cold. I've been watching outside today, seeing the birds going about, and it's freezing for them. So what can we do to help them? Like, wildlife is such a big thing, and especially at this time of year. I'm massively into grow your own, you know that. But wildlife is something, especially for my daughter, who Olive. We get outside and we try and welcome wildlife in. For birds especially, it's a tough time. And I think the best garden make we can do right now, and I'm going to do this tomorrow, you've got to buy some lard. I'm not a massive, don't know about you guys, I'm not a massive fan of lard. It makes me feel a bit queasy, but it does make amazing fat balls. And it's so simple to do as well. You get some lard, then you get a little handful of it, then you get some bird seed, and then it literally is a case of just mixing it all together. It's such a messy one for the kids to do, but absolutely brilliant. Stuart makes a good point as he was chirping in here. Bird feeder, lard, seeds, dried fruit. Here we go. Around the pine cone. If you've got a pine cone, in fact, I've got some pine cones. I might do that. Oh, thank you. Hello. I'll come to that in a minute. I've got some pine cones. I might do that tomorrow, actually, with Olive. Olive's, if everyone don't know, Olive's 5, almost 6, going on 25, the way she talks. I've got some pine cones. Might do that. Anyway, if you ain't got any pine cones, don't panic. Lard, get some bird seed. Don't need loads. And then just mash it all together in a bowl. Get some string. Put some string through the middle of it. So you wrap it round. And then you whack it in the fridge. Put it in the fridge for a day, day and a half. If you do it tomorrow, if you can do it tomorrow, then by Sunday you should be able to get it out. Hang it up in the garden, and it just gives birds that little bit of extra warmth, that little bit of extra fat to keep them warm. It's almost like, imagine this is a lard coat. Worst way to put it, really. Imagine it's a lard coat. Yeah, well, yeah, I did. Yeah, put the string on first, obviously, before you put it in the fridge. But the best way to get kids' hands messy and to be able to feed the birds as well. It's also one of them times of years, even though they've got nests and stuff, again, it's like they need an extra quilt. So what I really like to do around where in fact, I put it on top of my garage roof, is I break up loads of twigs, break up a few leaves, although I'll be honest with you, I think they might blow away. But twigs, bits of grass, try and weigh it down a little bit with a little couple of stones so they can come along and then just basically, what is that? What is that I'm doing tonight? That's their beak. They come along, they pick it up, and they can take it back to the nest. And basically, it just gives them that extra little bit of quilt to keep a little bit warm. I don't know how they do it out in this weather. I really don't. It's so cold. And then finally, obviously, we're getting really cold mornings. Water is really important for us. And we'll have a little sip now. For us and for the birds. So in the mornings, just if there's any ice, I don't know if we're going to get beasts from the east at any point. But if you crack the ice, make sure the birds have a little bit of water in the mornings. That really helps them along. Stuart Jackson absolutely smashing it in the comments tonight. Another one is an empty toilet roll. Cover it with peanut butter. I like peanut butter less than I like lard. Both make me feel. Ugh. And then cover it in seed. That's another great one for the birds. Really simple. And I know you can buy fat balls, and I know you can buy seeds that you can just hang up. But again, we're all about trying to get the kids involved. And if they're involved in the making of something, imagine just using Mr. Stuart Jackson's idea, for instance, tonight. This is great that we're doing this Thursdays because it means we can really share some ideas. If you've got some more ideas, whack them in the comments, call in, let me know. Let's share some ideas tonight. That's what it's all about. Imagine if your child got a toilet roll holder, got some peanut butter, rolled it up in a load of birdseed, hung it up outside. How amazing would it be just to sit there by the window and watch the birds come down and actually enjoy something that you have made? That's what it's all about. Bringing children and making them part of it. Sure, it's easy to go and buy something, but actually creating something, actually growing. I mean, we will briefly touch on grow your own later on, but if you're growing something from seed, your connection to that is so much more. If you're making something for wildlife and the wildlife start using it, your connection is there. That's what it's all about. Mr. and Mrs. Gardens, good evening. Bullfinches in our garden today. Oh, bullfinches. We use sunflower hearts, not keen on lard. Another non-lard friend. Another non-lard friend there. Bullfinches. Yeah, what birds have you seen? Coming up, I'm not going to do it today because we're still a couple of weeks away from it. But there is the big bird watch coming up. I don't know if you've took part in it before. Should I talk? I wasn't going to talk about this, Meg. But I know at the moment, thank you to whoever just liked the stream tonight. Thank you. I know at the moment we're all getting parcels delivered. And some of them can come in massive boxes. Now, when I mentioned this 2 years ago now, it didn't go in the book, but maybe it should have. I created a cardboard hide. Maybe we should keep this one for a few weeks' time. Should we wait? I'm going to tell you now, but I'll repeat it again just to let you know. A cardboard hide. So if you're doing this tonight, if you're like Alison, hopefully Alison will go and make some of these things to attract the birds more, to help them out. But if you want to be in the garden and watch them come down, then the best thing you can do is create a cardboard hide. Now, I made one. There's a video somewhere online of me. I think it's on YouTube somewhere. I made one out of a massive box. I can't remember what I got delivered, but it was massive. All right. I cut a little hole in the front of it, and then I think we didn't, but you can. It looks better if you do. Then put loads of paint over it, loads of camouflage paint, and then what you do as a parent, you get comfortable on the cold floor. Make sure you got a pillow. You get younger children to sit with you, and then you put the sounds silly when you say it, but the cardboard box over the top of you, right? And then you just wait. You peer through the letterbox on the cardboard box that you've created. And you wait quietly. Now, the idea is that you will sit there for about half hour, hidden from the birds. They'll be hovering. They'll be flying. They'll be flying around. And you'll sit there, silence, waiting for them to come down and hit the seeds that you have lovingly made and put out for them. That is the idea. If you've got I did it when Oliver was 4. If you've got a 4-year-old, half hour of sitting still was not going to happen. But we did see some birds come down. So it's a great one. I mean, we'll talk about that more when we do the big bird watch, but that is coming up as well. Back to Alison's question though, what can families do to help birds and other wildlife? That's a great one for helping birds. The other thing is make a home for them. Now, a lot of hedgehogs and frogs and things like that, a lot of them are tucked away, hibernating. But it doesn't mean you can't make a home for them now. Like hedgehogs, I've got an amazing hedgehog home. They never live in it, but I do put the hedgehog home down to them attracted to the garden. And also, I've talked about it before on the show, just putting a hole in the fence for hedgehogs to get through. We're all building up these castles, all building these walls and these fences up around us. Putting a hole in the fence between you and your neighbour is a great way for the hedgehogs to get in between when they start coming out and about once again. So building a home, building a place for frogs, building a little mini pond, building these areas to attract wildlife is where it's at. That's what it's all about. A little bit like today's make. I did say that every single Thursday I'm going to do a kids garden and live show. The phone lines are open if you fancy calling in. 074. What is the phone? I can never remember. Oh, it's 0742 357 4520 if you want to call in tonight and ask a question or even just share an idea. But I've got a great garden to make to show you. Now, this weekend, you may be thinking, what am I going to do with the kids? And good point. This is a great one to do with the children. Bug hotels. Now, I love this one. It's not in the book, probably in book 2. I absolutely love this one. You don't have to have a massive space as well, which I really like. I realise that everyone's gardens are different sizes. I feel very lucky to have, not acres, but a long garden. It's not acre, not anywhere near an acre. Long garden. But I realise people have balconies, windowsills, courtyards, and this is a great one for children, whatever size garden you've got. And all you're going to need is a milk carton, everyone. Someone play the Blue Peter theme tune. Oh, I do a lot. Imagine if someone rocked in now. All you need is a carton. You do need some scissors. Be careful with scissors, team. I must say that. And then this is what you need to do. Okay, so you need to. Now I'm going to show you this on stream like this. So you pierce a hole halfway through, and then you very slowly. What you're going to do is cut the side of this bottle off. Not entirely, just a little, almost like a. How would I describe this? Oh, just a side, really. Now I did this recently. And Olive absolutely loved it. It's such an easy one as well. Parents, this is probably your bit. This is your part of the make. It's a little bit, funny with scissors. But then the kids can get involved. So, as you can see, it might take a little bit more time, but that wasn't too bad. Get rid of that bit. Make sure you recycle. You know where it's at. Then we can get rid of the scissors. We're done with the scissors. What you're left with is a milk carton with a hole in the side, which is great. Then what you need to do is get some paints. And you paint over the whole of the outside of your carton. I think they're called poster paints, the ones. Then if you want to, you can varnish over the top of it. Just to make sure, because if not, if it goes out in the rain, it's gonna get ruined. There could be tears. So nice bit of varnish over the top to keep that colour going. And then what you do is, so you do this on day 1, get the paints going, get messy with it, right? Day 2, this is a double header. That's why I love this make so much. So if you're thinking about doing it at the weekend, Saturday, you can create this. Maybe it's raining. Create this on the table, paint it up, sorted. Sunday, go out into the garden, or go to your local woodland, go to your local park. And then what we're going to need is sticks. We're going to need stones. We're going to need soil. We're going to need bark. We're going to need grass. We're going to need leaves. And we literally just layer it up. We layer it up. And I'm going to do this tomorrow. And next Thursday, I will show you what me and Olive have come up with. And I want to see yours. If anyone does it, awesome. But if anyone does, then send your photos to me at lee@skinnyjeangardener.co.uk, and you can show me your mini bug hotel. Bug hotels, you see a lot of them, and they're massive. They're ridiculous size. Some of them are pallet sized. Some of them you've got to have a big pot. This one you really can just put outside even your doorstep onto the balcony. It's really simple. It's really personalized as well. If you've got a few children, each child can create one. And then what you do, you fill it up with all the bark, all the materials, layer it very slowly, and then probably put if you can, put a big rock in the bottom of it. I'm going to put that down there. And then you put it outside and then you leave it. You back away. That's 2 days of awesome. Maybe not 2 full days, don't get me wrong, but activity-wise, 2 full activity days, right? Then, as a bonus, you wait a week and you can come back to it. You wait another week, you come back to it. And all you do is just have a little look to see what bugs have visited your bug hotel. So actually, we've made a garden make, and we've got out and about with the kids. That's what it's about, isn't it? Exercise. Can we get away with that? Let's not get bogged down in law. So great one. Guys, tomorrow I'm going to get Olive to paint this up. Saturday we're going to go out and we're going to fill it up with bits we've got around the garden. We might even collect them up tomorrow as well. And then next Thursday, I want to see your mini bug hotels. lee@skinnyjeangardener.co.uk. Phone line's open 0742 357 4520 if you want to call in. Click the link. I'll whack the link back in the description if you want to come in. A little bit quiet tonight on a Thursday, but you're very much welcome to join me. And if you've got any ideas, if you just want to chirp in, then just put something in the comments and I'll riff off the back of that. If you've got a good idea to get the kids out into the garden over this lockdown number 3. I'm going to take another question that we got on the socials. Kelly says, is there anything I can sow now with the children? And we had this the other night. We talked about this very briefly. I'm not massively... This is going to be controversial. I know someone will chirp in and say you still can. You can. The answer is yes. Things like chilies, pepper. You've got microgreen. Love a microgreen. I'll bring my microgreens in next week. You can sow stuff. I always say at this time of year, wait. Just wait. I always say don't peak too soon on sowing stuff. If you're going to be waiting, I would say wait until about March time when we'll get a little bit warmer, get a bit more heat, a little bit of sunlight in through the window if we're going to be sowing them on the windowsill. Just hold off for now. But it's a good question, and also a great question about what we're going to sow with children. So if, did you say just children? Didn't say if you've got a daughter or a son. But your children, it's a great time to sit them down now and talk about what we love to eat. That's what we want to know. What do we love to eat? What do we want to grow? Because I spoke about this the other day on another stream that it's great. Yeah, radishes, they grow really fast. Yeah, grow some radishes. I don't know many children that really like radishes. I really don't. And I really think that we need to grow. I mean, this is what I say all the time. We need to grow what children love to eat. If they love asparagus, again, I'm not sure how many children love asparagus, but asparagus takes a little bit longer to grow, right? It takes a few years before you can even think about harvesting it. But if a child loves asparagus that much, they're going to care for that plant. They're going to look after it. and make that happen. If they love tomatoes, they're going to care for that tomato plant until they get an actual fruit off the back of it, or off the plant. You know what I'm trying to say? So it really is a thing about sitting down right now in January and talking about vegetables, talking about fruit, and talking about what we can grow outside together as a family that we love to eat, which we can actually use in the kitchen. There's nothing better than seeing that tiny little seed grow into a plant and then end up on the plate into the belly. There's nothing better than that. So now is a real planning day. Stuart says, we made a apple bird feeder this week. 3 pieces of willow made in a circle with a stick through the middle with half an apple on it, then hang it up. Yeah, I saw this. I saw this recently. Stuart, I don't think I can play it on here because of privacy issues, but Stuart sent me a video of his class, which was fantastic, making out of willow a little apple feeder for birds. It was incredible. I wish I could show you it, but I can't show you the video, unfortunately. But it looked wicked. And willow is something that I personally want to do more with. Grandkids love baked beans, says Ian. Not quite what I was going with, Ian. Not quite what I was going with. I agree, says Mr. and Mrs. Gardens. Bit too early for seeds yet. Great to think about, though. Plan ahead for what to grow. That's what it's all about. I think we're in a big planning mode. In fact, one of the things I'm going to talk about later on is planning as an activity. If you want something educational, I know we're teachers now. We're all teachers once again. Okay. Until March time. Yep. Anyway, let's get that out of my head for now. We've got something coming up later. If you want to get something educational and in the garden, I've got a great idea for you. That's coming up before the end of tonight's show, everyone. Louise says, I live in a rented property and I'm not allowed to dig into the grass. I want to grow vegetables with my daughter, but I'm not sure how to begin. Really good question. Really good question. Actually, as if by magic. Hang on, wait there, everyone. The How to Get Kids Gardening book by Skinny Jean Gardner. That's me. There, in the sun. Without being too cold. There's a great make in this book. Obviously, I would say that because it is my book. Where is it? Let me show you. Where's the... Here we go. Is this it? Yeah. This is a great way. So if you're like Louise, is it Louise? Yeah, like Louise says, she's not allowed to dig in. She's on rent accommodation. She's not allowed to dig into the grass. Wants to grow vegetables with her daughter, but not sure how to begin. This is a great start. A little bit like that bug hotel. Like, don't get me wrong. If you love to get bugs into the garden, fantastic. Make it happen. That's a great starter. What we're doing there, that little challenge, everybody. But this is a great one if you want to start growing vegetables, but either you're only got a windowsill, only got a balcony, don't have loads of space. Maybe you've got about a courtyard that's all stone. Maybe you're not allowed to dig into the garden, and it's really easy. It's called a washing up bowl allotment. Let me show you on the stream team. Washing up bowl allotment. I talk about this so much because it's so simple to create. With this one in the book, it is a washing up bowl, couple of quid. Like everything in this book, I don't like to spend too much money. Couple of quid. Then you need to decide 2 plants, and a little row of salad. In this one, we've got a pepper plant. I think it's a pepper. Yeah, it was a pepper plant and a tomato plant. Boom, boom, next to each other, a little row of salad. And a great way of doing it, if you're, you know, I'm not against buying plants. You don't have to grow from the smallest of seed into an actual plant. You can buy the plants, but a great way to do a little bit of a mixture. If you want to go and buy a tomato plant and a pepper plant, plant it up, and then buy some salad seed, I mean, in a washing up bowl, you'll probably get about 4 or 5 rows in a little washing up bowl, 4 or 5 goes of salad, then that is a great way of doing it. Oh, here we go. Look, here's a man that knows a little bit more about veg. It's Mr. Richard Sugg. Hello, mate. Suggs? Hello? Sir Sugg a lot? I can't hear you. And this is not a wind. By the way, this is not a wind up. I honestly cannot hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, there you go. There you are, mate.
So I've been playing around and found new ways to do things. So you know how it is when you take things apart.
Unfortunately, yeah. How you doing, dude? Quiet night tonight.
Sorry?
Quiet night tonight.
Well, it is where you are. I'm pretty busy here.
Oh, good for you. Good for you, dude. What's going on, man? What are you saying?
I think there was a conversation going on about being organised with this time of year.
Yeah, plan.
Yeah, that's something I'm really into at the moment, trying to be organised.
What do you put in place to be organised?
To-do lists. Nice and simple. Well, that's one of the things I do. So you may or may not have seen this earlier, but I've been writing these sheets up for to-do lists that I just what I need to do and when I complete so I can tick it off. But added to that, when I go down the allotment or plan to spend a day in the garden, I also write out what I plan to do and what equipment I might need in advance.
It's very well planned out, mate.
I think it's trying to be efficient is my idea, because in the past, you know, I love gardening, love going out there. I plan to do all these things, and then you just forget that one tool or that one thing which ruins the entire plan. So trying to be that.
How far ahead do you plan in time?
Oh, only about a couple of weeks, not much further than that. Well, I say that, but I know March I'll be sowing these seeds. And in April I'll be sowing more seeds, and the things that come around the same time every year, I guess you could say you're planning ahead.
Sort of works out. So January is the plan and time to actually think about what you're going to buy seeds wise, isn't it?
Yes, well, that's another one I'm sort of creating, is a list of seeds that I want to grow, a list of whether I've got them, and then when I'm going to plant them and stuff. So,
you really go into it quite far then. If you're talking about sowing and then when you're going to plant and that, you really
well, it's because I've got so many seeds, and I'm at the point now I just want to get these seeds used up.
I think if you're new to gardening, because I always talk about if you're new to gardening, like the power of 5 with seeds.
Yeah.
I think I know you grow a lot more than 5 seeds.
yeah, that's an understatement.
But with 5, I think it's still a good idea to write it all down, and also, like you said, I think I didn't think about that, but writing down when you're sowing them, when you're planting them out, when you're going to be ready for harvest, and just having all that on one sheet of paper ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of work, but at the moment we've got some quiet evenings to sit down and do this sort of thing and make the most of it. But not when it comes to beginners, especially if you're in your first year, I actually say don't start from seed. In my opinion, I reckon you're better off going and buy plug plants.
I'm surprised to hear you say that, actually. I mean, I got nothing against plug plants. I think if you've got confidence to get out there and sow seed, then go for it, because I do think that failing is the best way to learn.
I totally agree, but the reason I actually say I think a beginner should go and buy plug plants, within reason, depends on what it is that sowing seeds is a whole different skill set. And if you're in your first year, you're going to be eager, and if you can just learn to look after that one plant or 5 plants or whatever, you've learned for the next year how to look after it, and then you can start looking at the seeds, how to grow them from seed.
I'm with you. It makes a lot. It does make sense. I never really thought like that before. Like I say, I'm quite like. I think even if you go and buy that. I mean, there's buy the plants. I'm down with that. I'm cool with that. I think that's good because I mean, if that's just taking it a step like seeds, plugs,
plants. Yeah.
How confident you're feeling. I think any of them, I find, as long as you're looking after plants and caring for them.
Yeah. I mean, it's easy for us to sit here and say it's easy to sow plants for seeds when we've been doing it for goodness knows how many years.
Yeah.
But to a beginner, I do think it is a whole different skill set. And I don't know about you, but I found as I've gone on, I've developed ways that I've become better at sowing seeds, so I get a higher germination rate.
Yeah.
And that's using things like perlite, seed compost, heated propagators, grow lights, all these things that the beginner isn't going to have or have a clue about.
Yeah. It wouldn't. Those a lot of them words you just talked is French. French to me. Have you got any other tips for beginners, Suggs?
Just get stuck in there and give it a try.
That's what it's about, isn't it?
What's it about? Yeah, definitely.
Get stuck in.
Definitely. But I think what I was calling about was being organised, and how this year I'm trying my hardest to be organised. It ain't going to happen in the way I think it's going to happen, but I'm going to do my best.
I am going to do if you're about on Monday, I really love to do a podcast about productivity and being organised. If you're up for that,
definitely. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks so much. Let's do it.
Yeah. Cool. I'll call you about that, and we'll get something worked out.
Sweet, dude. Thanks. Hopefully, you've kicked off the phone calls tonight. We've got 25 minutes left, so hopefully other people will call in and say hello.
Let's hope so.
I'll see you later, man.
Have a good one. Cheers.
Thank you. Mr. Richard Suggett there calling in. And you can call in just like the... I don't know what keeps happening. I keep disappearing off the stream. Here's one man. He's going to pop up in a minute. He's here he is. One man that don't just disappear from the screen. It's Stuart Jackson. Hi, Stu.
Hello, mate. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm not too bad. What's going on, man? What you got to say? You're almost our school expert.
Well, I'm listening to Rich there about sowing seeds. He's so right. You know, I've been growing flowers for years, but vegetable seeds, I lost quite a lot this year because I either sowed them too deep or not deep enough, and it is a learning curve for the newbie. And I now know how the kids feel when I say, "Oh, just put them in and see what happens," because I let them do what they want. I don't. If they want to read, if they're old enough and they read the packet, that's great. But if they don't and they make a mistake, they learn from that mistake. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. It makes a lot of sense.
Seeds aren't expensive.
No, I mean when you first started doing this with the kids, Stu, how did you feel about it all? How did it all go?
Well, the first sort of year, I wanted to do it properly, you know, regimental lines, everything in the right place. And I think I told you before, I had a parent put their arm around me and say, "Your garden looks amazing, Mr. J."
Yeah.
And I went, "It's not my garden, it's the children's garden." And she said, "No, if it was the children's garden, it would be a muddle. It's too regimented." And which is true. The kids plant things where they want to plant them. So if you've got, you know, carrots next to runner beans, they're going to learn. If the carrots don't come up because the runner beans have taken over the ground, they're going to learn from it.
Yeah.
So I just let them, you know, this is the patch of ground we've got. What do you want to put in there?
Yeah.
And if they say, "Right, I'm going to sow my tomato seeds this month," well, I'll say, "Well, you can if you want, but I wouldn't. But if you want to, carry on." So they sow the seeds and then they don't germinate and they learn. So
what it's about.
It-
Life is not
It's
all
like
better.
you've got- No, it's about the kids, really. It's letting them experiment. You know, if when they get to senior school and they start doing science experiments, they're allowed to make mistakes in the classroom. So why not make the mistakes outside in the garden?
Yeah.
So this year I've spent 10 quid so far, and I know we're only like 3 weeks into the class, you know, but I've got a box full of seeds, and tomorrow actually the reception kids will be sowing some seeds. So, and they just cut the hand in and take out what they want, and if they grow, they grow. But you know, some will grow because I'll make sure they grow.
Yes,
So
yeah.
you've always got to be one. You've got to be one step ahead, really, when you're teaching.
Yeah.
So if I know the kids are going to grow salad, say next week, I'd have already planted it a week ago.
Yeah.
At home in my greenhouse, so that the ones that do fail, I can show them the ones that failed, then I can show them what I did to get it right. And I don't always get it right.
No, of course
you've got to have a backup. You know, you've got to have a backup because otherwise you get that. You've seen it. You've got a daughter. The tears start flowing, and then you can't stop it.
Mate, I can't even think about it. It makes me so sad when them sort of things happen.
But plug plants are a great idea though, because then you can have a backup plan in the greenhouse, and then they've sown some tomato plants, and then you've already got some growing because you've been and bought half a dozen plug plants, and they're in the greenhouse. You just swap them over.
Yeah, always going. How are you finding this week, Stu? I don't know if are you doing online stuff still, or what's it been like?
I'm doing both. Yeah, I'm in class every day. But because we're really lucky, we're quite high ratio staff wise. So we've had 7 children in reception with 4 staff. So
wow, VIP.
Yeah, it is VIP, but we're getting jobs done that we wouldn't normally get a chance to get done. So with 2 of us are in the classroom at any one time now, and then 2 of us go out, and then we swap over. So I've filmed 8 or 9 videos, lesson videos already, ready to send out. I've done one out tonight. Want to go out over the weekend, and then we'll send some out every day next week. But I just did simple things like a balloon full of water, hang it up outside, and then it freezes. Obviously freezes, and then you can talk about that, or you can put a bowl of water out and put some stuff anything in it, toys, sponges, and then watch it freeze, and then the kids can play with the ice afterwards.
Yeah.
So it's just simple things. Drop a bit of food colouring in. The aliens have landed, or it's just make it fun. You've got to make it fun. But we will get more children in because the government will do the same as they did in first lockdown. They will change the rules, and more kids are being told to come in. I know they're introducing this laptop thing now where people who can't afford it will get a laptop, but that's going to take weeks and weeks to get in place.
We'll probably all be back by school.
I wouldn't hold your breath. I wouldn't hold your breath for going back this side of March.
Well, we'll see, Stu. We'll see.
Stu, well, if you need any help, mate, I'll send them on to you. Send the videos on to you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, send them out. Stu, thanks so much, mate.
That's all right. You take care.
I'll see you later. Bye, man. There we go, everyone. Stuart Jackson in the house tonight. 0742 357. I don't know why I can't remember the phone number tonight. 5735. What is it? 0742 357 4520. If you want to call in for the final 15 minutes of tonight's show. Also, so it says growing in buckets. Ask at a supermarket for flower buckets. Put some holes in the bottom. Yeah, well, where's that? Well, I was just before everyone started calling in. I was just showing you. I've just stood on it. This great book by Scrooge Ghana. The washing up bowl allotment. Where is it? Oh, there you go. Well, you can do. This is the advanced level. I won't show the advanced level today, but the washing up bowl allotment, really simple. Few holes in the bottom. If you're putting it outside, you can put a few holes in the bottom of it. Then plant it up. If you plant up a plug plant, like Stuart said, or a main plant even, doesn't matter. We put tomatoes, we put peppers in this one, and a little row of salad. There's Olive, my daughter, showing a little row of salad in there as well. So you're getting a little bit of a mixture. Who asked that? Was that Louise that asked that? Yeah, Louise. A great one for children to get gardening in there, Louise. I'll tell you what, look, I quickly want to do this. I quickly want to say about this. The Skinny Jean Gardener book is available now. I did this for Christmas. I'm going to do it again. Where is the link for it? If you want to get this book, I'm going to sell it again. I'm going to put it on sale for £10 in my shop. Don't tell Amazon whatever you do because I'll be in trouble. I'm going to put it in sale. Click the link. You can get it for £10. I'll sign it for you, and you can get garden. There's loads of different ideas in there. If you fancy getting your hands on it, there's a limited amount. I think about 50 left. So if you fancy it, it's there for you. Link is in the description. Thanks for that, Louise. Right, have we got some more questions? What have we got coming up? Right, yes. Oh yeah. Well, I did want to mention, talking about the book. There's 3 things for gardening that this book and everything that I do, I base everything on. It's grow your own, wildlife, and fun. The 3 main things to get children gardening. And I think over this lockdown, just like we did in the first lockdown when I was doing like daily lives, the 3 things we always stuck by was grow your own, fun, and wildlife, and having a mixture of that. So, you know, this time of year, we're talking about grow your own. We're talking about making that happen. We're creating things like the bug hotel that we created earlier for wildlife. And we need to keep the fun happening. In that book, there's loads of fun ideas if you want to pick some. But keep the fun happening outside as well. One of the things Olive asked me, and we might have to do this tomorrow, is, Dad, can we... you know how we did in lockdown the first time where we were playing loads of games and we're doing like PE outside, and I was doing like PE games. Can we do that now? I thought, well, if you want to get in your PE kit and me sit in a warm coat, then yeah, sure. Why not? Oh, thanks, Stu. It's a great book. We use it all the time at school. Thanks, man. Well, it's on offer now for £10 if you want to get any more. We'll just send some down. Those are the 3 things. Now, I did say that one of the things that I think is really important is bringing a little bit of education. And gardening's a great way. And talking about planning, where Sugget, about 20 minutes ago, brought in planning. He's doing loads of planning. And if you're really into that, I want to talk about that a little bit. We'll probably do that on Monday's show next week. But planning is key at this time of year to get ready for the season when it kicks off. And also planning your garden. So if you've got a space, even if you've got a small space, giving children an area of their own is super important. Like that wash and nut bowl allotment is a great idea because it gives children a sense of responsibility. It means that they're looking after that washing bowl and you don't touch it. They have to touch it. Thanks, whoever just liked. Thank you. You don't have to touch it. They have to look after it. They have to water it. So it gives them that sense of responsibility. That is their plants. But last year, and I think this is a great one we can do even now. Last year with Olive, we had an area of our garden which was not really up to much. It wasn't doing anything. It was just actually not great turf, if I'm totally honest with you. And I said to her, look, this is your corner of the garden. You can do whatever you want. We've got loads of materials. Dad's got loads of different bits and bobs that he was going to make something from. This is up to you. And what we did was I got some string and I got some pegs and I just gridded off that area. I think it was about a 3 meter squared piece of the garden. And we gridded it off on piece of paper. We then drew those grids. I think I got a grid of 9. And then we went inside. It was it warm? Must have been a little bit cold because I'm sure we sat inside. Maybe it was back in March we started this. 2020. We sat down and then we designed a garden and we talked about measurements. We did some mathematics. We did spelling with it. Olive was 4 then. We did spelling, maths, and we got measurements into it. And it's a great way to bring a little bit of education, especially at this time of year, to bring that planning on board. And also, it's a great for children because they're creating their own garden. Obviously, now this is a warning to parents. You don't have to put everything into. She put a swimming pool in at one point. I said, "You're joking." A slide. There was. I wish I kept it. I must have it somewhere. If I can find it before next week, no, I'll bring it into the show. We must let the kids know that they can go wild with their ideas, but not everything is going to go into it. But the idea is that over time, from now all the way through into summer, that they can create their own space that they're going to look after. But now is an amazing time to get them planning, to get them learning maths, spelling, measurements, writing. It's a great one as well. Olive did some amazing writing. You may have said this. Let children. Yeah, I did. Yeah. Jackson's back on the comments. You may have said this. Let the children choose what they grow. Let them lead the activities. It's got to be up to them. It's really difficult, I know, as a parent to say, it's up to you. Do what you want. And they say something, you're like, oh, probably. I mean, that's one of the... Keep coming back to this book. I don't want to keep coming back to it, but it is a great book. That's one of the reasons I wrote this, just for people to say to their children, go on, do what you want, and then they just flick and open it. I mean, that's one of the bug hotels we did. Because all the ideas in there are just so cheap and easy. I didn't want something that your child would flick through and then go, oh, that's 60 quid gone. Nothing like that in that book. So, yeah, that's what you got to do. You're exactly right, Stu. Let the children lead the activity. That's great. So yeah, it's a great one. If you're thinking about getting or changing an area in your garden and planning that, then you can. I'm just going to flick through some of the comments before. Ian says, haven't got any lard. Will sunflower oil work? I tried to do the bird make that we talked about earlier. I tried to do it with butter. It doesn't work. It melts too quick. It needs to be lard. That's really important. So yeah, January is a time to plan. Right, we are coming. Oh God, I can't believe how quick tonight's show has gone. If you've got any more questions, get them in the comments right now. I'd love to hear from you. If you've got any other ideas, every single Thursday, thank you to whoever just liked again. Every single Thursday, we're going to do all the way up until the end of lockdown, a kids gardening show where you can call in, ask questions, share ideas. That's really important. I want to make this a hub of sharing ideas. So if you've liked tonight's show, give it a share, let people know about it. But yeah, we're going to be here every single Thursday doing that. One of the things, the school garden is so important, and Kirsty from My Little's Allotment put out a tweet the other day, and I just wanted to read a few of those tweets. She was saying that she's been down the allotment, a little bit of inspiration about why I thought we should probably do this show. She's been down the allotment with her daughters and been teaching them down there. Homeschooling at its best, I think. Doesn't get any better than gardening and homeschooling, right? Getting outside. It's going to be, don't get me wrong, it's going to be tougher at this time of year, 100%. But definitely a lot of fun. So she put out a tweet saying, she's been down the allotment. She's been teaching her children about gardening. Here's a few. John says, think teaching someone the true way of life is the only way forward. There will soon be a whole generation of kids with false results in schools and no social skills or true life. Well, that's not as positive as I thought that tweet was going to be. Fiona says, science, biology, English, reading the plant names and verbal communication as you discuss what to do. Geography, where the plants come from. Exercise with the digging. Very true. Don't know if anyone saw my Joe Wicks style exercise class last year. We're bringing back the, I think I did at Mr. Jackson's school. I did a wildflower shuffle. Watch out for that. Exercise with the digging. Latin learning with the proper names. My daughter's a little bit young for that. Primary school, maybe a little less. Rounded off by lunch. Domestic science, where they can round it off by lunch. Domestic science, where they can help with the cooking. Well, that is the thing. I mean, we talk about planning. What an amazing thing is a little bonus one to end the show tonight with. What an amazing thing to talk about what we're going to sow in the garden. Say you're going to sow tomatoes, peppers, chilies. Then get it in your supermarket shop, cook it up, show children what we're going to make from it, and then sow them seeds in March time. So they know exactly, they've tried it, they've tasted it, they know what they're getting, they've seen it. For younger children, they've actually seen what it is. Tomatoes, not just in tomato ketchup. You make sure. Also, if Olive's watching this, she won't be. A tomato is in tomato ketchup. So when you say you don't like in tomato, it's in tomato ketchup. Just saying. She's 6 years old. Christine says, I reckon you could cover many subjects from maths, calculating how much of each crop to grow and the area needed, biology of plants, art, geography, soil structure, literacy, labelling the plants, really important. Write an allotment related story, even. There is so much you can get from being outside in the garden that that is educational, isn't it? Russ says, technically, you have the science, biology, chemistry, at the least mathematics. I think he's going into a little bit of a higher level than primary school. I'm about. He wrote mathematics, dosage of plant feed, distance between seeds. I'm not a massive fan of distance between seeds. I know you have to have distance between seeds. I'm not a massive fan of measuring those distances. More like finger measurements, not centimeters and that. But that's just me. PE, digging, weeding, lifting, compost, and manure. Have your 4-year-old carrying a big bag of compost. Make sure it's peat-free. And RE, praying for things to grow. Pretty balanced curriculum, I reckon. That's yeah. Well, thanks for that. We've got a school plan coming up, everybody, and I'm really excited about it. I know that the team that are usually here, thanks so much, know about it. But if you're a teacher watching this back, if you're a parent watching this back, and you think you want your school to get involved, then the school gardening success plan is coming out in September. Pre-orders in June. But if you want to find out more, please click skinnygardener.co.uk/plan. Final question. Have we got time for a final question? Why not? Brian says, my kids are always so excited when we start the garden, but then quickly lose interest and I end up taking care of it myself. How can I get them more involved throughout the entire season? It's a tough one. I've got a little bit like flying back to the start of tonight's show, talking about me sitting inside a box with, I mean, if you're just joining now, you'll be like, what? Sit inside a box waiting for the birds to come down. Children's attention spans are much smaller than ours. Their attention will, I mean, could say my attention flies all over the place as well. But expectations, Brian. Expectations. You can't expect children to be concentrating on for a full hour on one garden project. That is why I talk about letting them have their own space so they can look after it and learn that they are responsible for that area to care for it. And that's why in the book I've got grow your own wildlife and fun. That's why we've got the fun ideas, because what happens is we get the children to get them involved, involved in what I call the serious gardening, the boring gardening. Maybe you've got to do some weeding, tidying up, get them involved in that. But if they want to run off and go and play with something fun in the garden, then they can. They're out there. You can get on with what you're doing. That's what it's about. Your expectations, you can't expect them to be constantly doing the same job like we can sit and do the same thing. So it really is about expectations, giving them their own area and letting them look after it. God, we really got. I felt like I was going into a bit of a speech tonight, everybody. We really did get through some subjects tonight. Thank you so much to the crew, to Stu, to Richard, just doing Richard tonight. I feel really bad if I've missed someone out for calling in tonight. Thank you so much. And we are here every Monday to Friday, chatting gardening, and you're very much welcome to call in and get involved. Thursdays, like I say, are specifically down to children's gardening, all the way up until lockdown finishes, so we can share our ideas. I really appreciate everyone that has clicked a big thumbs up. Big thumbs up to you guys. Thanks so much for being part of tonight's show. It's been a lot of fun. I just want to quickly just put in, I'll just put this link back in again to end the show for the book if you fancy getting it, because I'm going to do a delivery this weekend. So if you want the book, I'll make sure it gets delivered to you by next week. That's it from me tonight, everyone. Thank you so much to everyone that has joined us tonight, everyone that's watched and took part. Your ideas have been awesome. There was one more thing. Hang on, I did see it pop up. Oh yeah, you can use suet for bird feeders, but lard is good for your hands. Everyone, good for your hands. Right, everyone. Thanks so much. I'm going to head off now. You guys have been awesome. I've been Lee Conley, the Skinny Jean Gardener. I shall speak to you tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Almost forgot to click the there we go. Much love. Facilia. Or Pacilia, if you just read it off there.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm on.
Oh, I can't hear you, Anon. I've done something wrong with the thing. Anyway, elephant poo is what I got.
Good evening, Lee. How are you?
Great, mate. Your signal is always terrible, but I'm good, my friend. Excuse me. You got an allotment? When I go, don't put artificial grass on top of me, all right?
Are you going to get composted, Lee?
Yeah, I didn't say